As always. As always at
The
this time.
coffee's pouring. I got my coffee upstairs yet, so I might
Yeah.
have to skip out here for a minute and go
No
get my coffee.
worries.
That's all right, though. I have the drink, so it's all good. Oh, yeah, and we're
Happy.
live now, too.
Yeah. Happy Thursday morning, everyone.
Happy Thursday.
We are. It's weird. It's
Day
again.
4 of the forced shutdown. Anyway, sorry, we were
It's
going to talk about virus. So.
it just it's so weird waking up, man. I don't hear the cars. I don't hear my neighbors leaving for work,
I hear
and
him. I hear him.
you have
You get out there and you
essential
go, all of
workers.
these people are essential. Are you kidding me? We're going to have checkpoints before this is all over. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Everybody's already getting the papers. So, do
Well,
you have the papers?
apparently a friend of a friend. She lives in Chicago, and she says the expressway they have checkpoints.
Where? In
They
Chicago?
yeah, they have checkpoints. They shut down one lane expressway, and everybody who is coming down that road has to be checked. Like, let me see the papers, or let me see
That's
tell me where you're going. What's your excuse?
that's news to me, but that's not surprising.
Yeah,
You know,
I need to.
I'm so glad
Happy
the wife just
Thursday.
works up the street now. Yeah, hey Trico, happy Thursday.
Yeah, let me see the papers.
Do you have the papers? Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you supposed to be on the road and stand? You know, stay here while I write you up a $500 ticket. That'd be a
Yeah, yeah.
great way for the. Hey, you want to fill the potholes? There you go. Just go out there and find these non-essentials out there. And well, if you're on the road, you must be able to spare $500. Here you go.
I seen a I took a picture of I took a picture of a park over in Detroit yesterday, full of cars, people out there partying, barbecuing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Well, good time for the cops to come by with a ticket book.
Yeah,
You get a ticket, and you get a ticket, and you get a ticket, and you get a ticket.
I mean, imagine that cop. The cop that pulls up.
Dude,
He's gonna be like a precinct champion, a precinct
like
hero.
like I said, you want to fill in potholes,
Yeah,
go get the non-essentials. Ting, ting,
yeah.
ting, 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 ting.
Guys, I just raised over $5,000 for the precinct. This is awesome. Look at this.
Because I know the client I was working for spent a whole day trying to fill out paperwork for all their people, but they're part of a chain, so
Hopefully, your printer is essential business. You got a comic book
it's
needs to be
not.
printed.
It's not. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
if
It's
your
not.
printer is an essential business, if you're a comic book creator, your printer is an essential. Hope they apply it to be essential. Listen, we can print
Unless they're
literature.
yeah, unless they're printing stuff for the stores and that they're non-essential.
Couldn't they be printing? Would printing political handouts and flyers
If
be
it's
considered
related to
essential?
medical and the virus, I'm sure that they would be allowed to stay open. Absolutely.
Because you know what I haven't seen. I haven't
Hmm.
seen any political campaign commercials.
That's
I don't know if we're gonna
because
have election this
that's
year.
because it's already been decided, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's the way it works. It's just like during a primary. How many Biden signs did you see out there?
yeah.
None. None. Just none.
We're not. But
I
it's
saw
weird.
more Trump signs out there, but I saw a lot more Bernie signs than either one of them. So
Are you getting creative during this point in time? Are you staying in the house? Are you doing more writing? Are you doing more reading? Are you doing more
are you
drawing?
asking? Is that a rhetorical
Well,
question?
no, no.
You're
I'm asking
asking
our listeners
listeners.
listeners on Indie Vote Radio and listen to us live right now on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Indie Vote Radio listeners,
Vote
thank you.
radio.
You're up early with us this morning. All
Or
6,722 of you.
or
Thank you.
late,
Yeah, yeah,
depending
yeah.
upon where you are in the world. We appreciate each and every one of you, by the way.
Yeah.
We're glad you're there.
Thank you, India. Thank you, China. Thank you,
It's
Japan.
it's time for those comic clown dudes again. Click.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. The
I,
Indie Vote Radio number is always impressive. We
is
really
our
appreciate you
our
guys.
talks your highest rated time, or do they just put up with us waiting for the great music?
No, I think it goes up. It goes up.
People are talking.
Let's see
People are
here.
talking in the states.
Yeah, Mel, you are the only one on my page. Yeah, she says, "Am I the only one on your page?" Yeah,
Hey,
you are the
Melissa.
only one on my page. I can see that. So yeah, that's she's the only one on my page. And you, there you are, Melissa. The only one on my page listening. So I was wondering, if you're stuck in a house, are you creating comics right now? Are you drawing? Or are you just hunkered down with the kids?
I want
Um,
I want to promote the hashtag pencils up.
Yeah, we're
Up
gonna
in
get
capital letters. Pencils up.
we're
Get to
gonna
work.
get into that. We're gonna roll the intro, and we'll be right back after that. Here's the intro.
Are we rolling the intro? Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. This
Oh,
gets painful.
ready? Okay. Yes.
There we are.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm tired.
If you're
I'm
out
tired.
there and listening to us on that YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Indie Volt also. If we
Subscribe.
actually get 1,000 subscribers, we can start asking for super chats, and then we can beg for tips.
Beg. I need your money, please.
Beg
Help
during
me.
everybody's time of need. Let's sit there and go, hey, and right now, if you use the magic code, I'm stuck at home, you get 20% off.
I am worried, man, that these people out here, Randy, are kind of going crazy. So there's no bullets in the stores right now.
No,
Gun sales are up.
kind of gone.
Yeah, yeah. And but I understand. I understand from a buddy of mine who owns a comic shop that before they closed down, he said that a gentleman came in and dropped $500 worth of on comics.
Well,
Comics
that's the way to do it. He just knew. He just knew that, and he appreciates his retailer. That's
Yeah.
what it is. And that's what we need to do as soon as we're able to go and get out again. If you've got a pull list with a retailer, they need it. They need it right now more than ever. I got a pull list right now that I don't know how I'm going to get, but I'll figure out how to do it once we can move.
Melissa, I photoshopped a multitude of hats on a friend's dog last night. Does that count?
Oh boy!
Yeah. And you were probably bored, Melissa. That counts. That counts. Trico says I started notes on the script last night. Just need to plot out the beats. Pencils up. Yeah. Yeah.
Should be a capital P, a capital U, and a capital P there at the end. It should be pup with ensels in the middle of it. Lowercase.
The incels.
Ensels.
Incels? I'm just
P.
kidding. I know.
Uppercase P's, uppercase U, ensels, lowercase.
I'm
We'll get this going. And also, I want to I really want to push this as a hashtag so that we kind of shame some of these companies out there that aren't keeping their freelancers working during their real time of need. Because a lot of these guys out there work from book to book, paycheck to paycheck. And all of a sudden they think they've got it set because they're on the next hot book at Aspen or Valiant. And they get the magic call. Hey, pencils down.
yeah.
Pencils down. We're not paying you for anything that you're doing during this time.
I-
What? They don't even want material for when they come back.
Yeah.
You're not working again till we tell you. Oh, wonderful. So what does that mean? How long are they going to go once things are safe without having a gig?
Pencils
Yes.
Just like that.
There we
Trico.
go. Hashtag pencils up.
I learned something last night that I did not know. I guess I should have assumed it.
Does it have to do with dogs?
No, okay. So
You
when
were talking to Mel. It has to do with the photoshopping hats on dogs.
no, what happened was okay, when I used to model as a child, every like milestone you'd hit, your paycheck, your hourly rate would go up. So it starts at like $50 an hour, and from there it goes up, and then you'd have like different prices for print and for commercials. So but you start pretty much at $50 an hour. Now, that rate never decreased.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I found out last night from a comic artist who works. He's done work at Marvel and DC, but mainly at Marvel. I don't want to say his name on air because I want out the poor guy. But he told me that
Don't dox anybody.
yeah, he told me that he can't get
An
that
anonymous
rate that he used to get, and he told me that
Not from DC or Marvel.
he said,
Hot
well,
dog.
he said like it was used to be like it used to be $250 a page was like low end is what he could get. Now he
$250
can't
for
get
pencils?
$250 yeah for
No,
pencils.
that's high.
And now he can't, it's like he can't get that, and it's bad. So I didn't know that your price could go down. Like I always assume
It's not that his price went down. It's the fact that these companies are getting tighter and tighter because they're watching their numbers shrink down to nothing.
I just always assumed that once your price was set, it could only go up from there.
That's
I
nice
didn't
in
realize
theory.
that unless you were doing a solid for someone.
In a free and open market, that would be very true. Your modeling is free and open market. You are a commodity, and you have been seen. You have a following, just like in comics. Except that now in comics, they don't care about the talent. We can get Joe Blow up the street to work for half of your amount. So why are we paying you this much? That's the way they're looking at it. You are just a cog in a machine when you're working for these mainstream companies. But that's the way it's always been. So
my dreams of asking for 500 a page are being dashed right before my very eyes.
Well, they are, but they aren't. I mean, you could always crowdfund at 500 a page and hope for the best.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Pay yourself.
Yeah. There is
That's part of the fun of crowdfunding, right?
Yeah. So we talked about it yesterday briefly, and someone on Indie Radio asked me to kind of expand on what we talked about with if we don't have a postal service, which I don't think is going to happen. I think we're going to figure that out, because here's the problem: the postal service keeps America moving. Just much like insurance, because I got friends who do insurance and they still have to come to work.
Well, see,
they still have to go to work.
That's not even the problem either. Most of the postal service now are working as individuals, as it is. I mean, the letters come in, one guy sorts them, and he's in his own little station, and everybody else is, he's already got social distancing worked in. You got a guy who loads up his mail car, and drives off. He's driving by himself. He's going around. All he needs is a pair of gloves to open your mailbox with, throw your mail in, and lately my mail's just been tossed into my box. It's way in the back of the mailbox. You can see that they kind of opened it up and went, "Hoo-ah!" and then shut the door and ran.
Yeah, Mel says
get that pitching arm working.
She's at work right now, and
but we appreciate the mail, but I don't think you're ever going to see it stop. There would have to be a lot happen before the mail decides to stop. But look at silly Amazon. Holy crap. They were down to essentials, and now there's people in their individual warehouses, whole groups of them, that are coming down with the virus.
Yeah, and I got a package.
How much of that stuff is floated out there?
I got a package from that one from the one warehouse that someone was at, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. This is fine.
You can just leave it out for 3 days, and everything will supposedly die off.
Yeah, that's.
I think
yeah.
you can have some faith in that.
Yeah.
Or most of it's wrapped in plastic anyway. Just take a sanitary wipe and just before you
sanitary napkin.
Not a sanitary napkin. Whole different thing.
Yeah.
Whole different thing.
Mel says I'm in insurance. No one is happy with me right now.
And nobody's happy with anybody right now. Mel, don't take it personal.
Yeah, you know what you got to do, Mel. I have another friend who works from home, and she's been fielding calls, and she told me that the calls are getting more and more aggressive. She's in she's in customer service, and
I just got back from Myers. Things are definitely getting more and more aggressive.
hey, people are getting aggressive.
Myers
have you been cussed out yet,
Mel?
For
you people out there who are not in the Myers circle, kind of like the Walmart.
Have you been sworn at yet, Mel? Has someone threatened to, hurt you? Because I imagine that I just keep imagining that it's getting worse out there, and I haven't been out. And but there was an idiot on a motor scooter going up and down the street yesterday, just up and down the street about 8 or 9 times.
You can ride your motor scooter. There's nothing wrong with that. You're
yeah,
traveling fast.
It's just loud.
If he's really a problem, just get about 100 feet in front of him and sneeze, or pretend to sneeze, and not cover it. He'll probably stop going down your street. That's all you have to do.
She says, "No, I'm not taking calls anymore." She says, "At least not right now. She's not taking any calls. She's she's hiding. She's hiding from the phone calls now."
Well, they're finding that you can't sell a lot over the phone anymore right now, anyway.
Which I think she's in customer service, like in insurance, so she doesn't have to sell anymore.
That would be a problem. The way to really tick them off is pick up the phone and fake an Indian accent. That's what you do. Sorry for all you in the call centers out there in India. We hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
We know your country's completely closed off, and there haven't been a lot of reports out of there. So
yeah,
we're hoping. We're pulling for you guys. We are.
Stay
safe, stay healthy.
Yeah, we're reporting.
And if you're at a call center where there's a guy next to you, 2 feet away, that's coughing all over the place, I'd kind of question your employment right now.
But listen, the people who are going out right now and hanging out are the same people who will hide a zombie bite. So I don't trust them.
Well, that was The last zombie body was chopped up and stuffed in bags and thrown into a dumpster up here. So
Mail says, I'm in dental. No offices are open
no
except
offices are open.
emergencies. Yeah, what happens if I have a
Extreme emergencies. Yeah,
what happens if I have a toothache right now? I need a major extraction. What do I do?
you'll have to call the emergency number.
I know there was a dentist.
You
I
ever see
was
a Little Shop of Horrors? That's what it is.
I went to
You
a
got the guy with the hammer and the screwdriver. And
I was on my way to a Comic-Con, and there was a guy who had a late night dentist office, and he was open 7 days a week,
yeah,
and it was a billboard for it. And I thought it was pretty awesome. Like
That's
they
how
should
you
have
make
that
money.
everywhere.
Yep.
They should have
Well,
that everywhere.
because you always get the worst pain. Um, uh, your teeth break. Your cavity perks up always right after business on Friday. That's the time it really springs up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know then that you're not going to be able to do anything about it, and you're in for a weekend of pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's just Murphy's Law.
She says that you call your dentist. That's why you build a relationship with an office.
Yeah.
What if they're not there? Yeah. Well, although it's really bad. My doctor's office knows me. I just call them. Oh, hi, Varian. You know, how's everything?
Yeah, we
It's
love
kinda
our
bad.
dentist.
Yeah. Oh, my doctor. Yeah, my dentist is a bit of
We've been going to the same dentist for like decades. So.
She says there's a place called 6 to 9 Dental, California. Kid, you're not. Ooh, 6 to 9.
629, not 69.
Oh yes, we know what they're doing.
You need to remind everyone this program is rated TVMADLSV, where the D stands for dentist.
Yeah. Did you know? Already, a guy wrote in to Indie Vote, and he wanted me to run this situation past you. And I kind of leaked it on Rob's show the other day, but I want to run it past you and our listeners.
You wanted to run it past me?
Yes. Okay. Check this out. So, you take a deal with a guy on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You say, hey. He says, hey, I want you to draw my book. You say, okay.
Okay.
He says,
Strike one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can we base your payment around how much the Kickstarter brings in?
Strike two. Go ahead.
And you're like, sure. Okay. And you do the book. The book is complete.
I like shooting myself in the foot. That'll be fun.
The,
Anyway, go ahead.
The book is complete.
Mm-hmm.
The Kickstarter is funded successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And then you discover, much to your chagrin, when a friend says, hey, I backed your book. And you say, oh, that's cool. Yeah, looks pretty cool. I can't wait to get it. I know the campaign's closed. I don't know how you... And then you find out that the creator has a whole other campaign running on Indiegogo that you didn't know about that's doing much better than... It's the same book, different campaign over on Indiegogo is doing much better. And when you go to that creator, you say, hey, buddy, what's up with the Indiegogo campaign? And they say, yeah, that's second campaign to try to bring in a little bit more money. And you say, well, my bonus, should be... And they say, oh, well, no, remember, our contract is for the Kickstarter, not the Indiegogo.
Yeah, all of a sudden there's nothing being done.
Yeah.
That's what would happen. If you can't deal with me in good faith, why should I be drawing for you in good faith or writing for you in good faith? That's underhanded and, in my mind, very unethical. Now, on the other hand, he should have said, oh, yeah, buddy, I forgot to tell you about that. But, of course, the same deal applies.
Mm-hmm.
And not have been a greedy asshole about it.
The word's balloon
because he's
knot.
probably the guy is probably getting a small percentage anyway of the profits. It's not like, hey, buddy, we'll split it 50-50.
Yeah.
And it's not going to hurt the guy because all that money off of the Indiegogo campaign is all butter. So it's like, dude, just pony up. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And everything gets good and everybody's happy. And the next time you want to do the product, especially if you want to do a second issue of that particular IP, you'll get the same consistent look. Instead of the guy going, well, since you screwed me around on the Indiegogo campaign, good luck finding anybody else. And I'm going to find whoever that you get to do the art and let them know how you treated me. Just so they know. Just so they know.
This Weekend of Pain is the Indie Devil's new comic series.
I claimed it already.
Did you?
Yeah.
Weekend of Pain.
Weekend of Pain, starring Mia Culpa.
Is she hot? I don't know. She
She's
attractive?
extremely hot,
Okay.
and she's dressed very skimpily.
Okay.
We're gonna make money, tons of money.
Also, one of the other questions from Indie Radio was this.
Special scratch and sniff cover.
Randy
It can be
had
done, and it hasn't been done lately. But go ahead.
this is from a gentleman in Mexico. He said he grew up between Mexico and the States.
It's okay.
But he's been drawing since '77. He's been drawing.
That I have a really difficult time realizing what his being Mexican is somehow hindering his drawing ability.
Well, no. You don't need to
His
finish.
being in the States is definitely hindering his drawing capability.
He says that the thing he noticed is that at first he thought that it was just like maybe a switch between countries, but he has found that his ink isn't behaving the way it used to from the same brand.
Okay.
He's noticed that his Higgins ink is not behaving like it once did. He thought maybe it was difference between what they produced, like in Mexico and the U.S. I don't think there's much of a difference. I think it's the same stuff. But I know over time they have changed that brand. The ownership of that brand has changed.
Yeah, well, these corporations are out looking to shave off any pennies in order to make their stockholders happy. What you probably have done is you bought a much cheap ass ink.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also with Higgins, you have to be careful because there's a lot of different brands of Higgins ink. Higgins doesn't do just one type of ink. We always thought it was funny. Inker acquaintance of ours way back when used to go around and ask everybody what color of ink they use. And what he really meant to say is, what brand are you using? Because Pelican reacts different from Higgins, and Higgins calligraphy ink acts different from Higgins pure black ink. And what the person sending in the notice is probably going to have to do is play a little bit of mad scientist and go out there. At first, I would make sure of the brand and the type, because Higgins does about a half a dozen different black inks. And the type that works for him is the type he really wants to concentrate on. Now, back when I was using physical ink on a real regular basis, because I used to ink like crazy, I had a mad mixture of a lot of different inks. I had some old rapidograph ink, some old Pelican ink that I would set out and let dry for a little while. A lot of your inkers, if you talk to them, they don't use well, they might now, but back then they didn't use a specific brand. They used a mixture of stuff. Well, I used one half calligraphy ink and the other half true black Higgins ink, and with a little dash of Pelican ink mixed into it in order for it to get the consistency and to be able to use it the way that I want. More than likely, the Higgins ink that he is buying now is just slightly, even if it is the same brand, slightly watered down, just to save Higgins those few extra pennies, and to still produce a black ink. Or they've changed their formula, which wouldn't be surprising. Yeah. Plus, you always get there's always a difference between standards between country to country. And that might be what you've got too. The American side, they might want to have it so that you can only use certain chemicals, so that if a baby comes up and chugs your ink bottle, she's not going to die, or he or she is not going to die. Where over in Mexico, whatever might be good. So he might have to find where he bought that ink, and keep going back there, or buy a large supply from it from them. The ink that worked good for him, in order for him to stockpile it a little bit so that he can, stay consistent.
Trico says, I get my ink straight from the octopus.
I'm sure he does. After a little bit of work.
The thing that's horrible. I went online looking for information on it last night, and I did come across a YouTube video of a guy trying various different types of Higgins ink.
That's Higgins Magic White.
We
weren't going to talk about that.
He tried Higgins ink from because Higgins used to be from Faber-Castell. Then they sold it to Sanford, and then they sold it to a company called Chart Pack now.
Yeah, it sounds like a local burger chain we've got up here.
And Chart Pack is probably apparently the worst version of the Higgins ink since they've ever made it. So since they started making it, since they took over, it's watery. And and it's not that deep, dark black that it's so popular with the college girls. But, but yeah, so the black has been
Once you go solid black, you anyway.
that's why I used to use Sharpies, and I learned because I got some old artwork now that's not purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll happen. Oh, well, I don't know how you were able to keep a consistent point with a Sharpie because Sharpies wear down real fast.
Oh no, they were.
I,
It was.
I
It
got
was
a
for.
whole bag of old Sharpies with
It
all
was
the
for
points on
my
them.
background blacks.
I'll use them for
yeah.
black space fillers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like just and now all that stuff is like because the art is like maybe 15 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to turn purple. It's starting to bleed past the line.
Yep.
It's really bad. So I tell people, if you're gonna use a Sharpie, use it like in the middle of the page, where even if it bleeds over time, it's not gonna.
Well, you want to scan it, and then you want to probably keep it in a place that's not getting a lot of air and a lot of sun, so that it doesn't bleed out like that until you're able to sell the original artwork, and then, and then it's all up to whoever buys it to take care of it. So,
Mel has
done.
Melissa. I don't know if she's still listening, but she has an extensive art collection, original art collection. Let me know how you store that, Melissa. Are you concerned about it? The art at some point becoming
Getting wet.
Yeah, getting unreadable and starting to. Change. Now I will ask you this, Randy, because this is important.
No, that was mean, Trico. He said
Yo, so 30 days, one comic.
To go back to your other guy first, you might want to check around at a few cons and grab a hold of a couple of inkers and talk to them about about what they're using. So and find something that works good for you, or you might just have to adjust and run from a pen to a brush or whatever in order to accommodate that ink that you have. More than likely, though, you're going to play mad scientist, mixing until you get a decent enough combination to work for you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't think some of that ink. You start mixing Speedball with Higgins.
I was mixing it all, man. I was mixing it all.
Yeah, he does.
Got some Pelican. Pelican will do this. I had Rapidograph ink. I just had a big. It was one of those, and the cool thing is, it was the old Higgins glass bottle, which was awesome. I love those old glass round Higgins bottles.
Mm-hmm.
You just pour this big concoction of different brands of ink in, and this doesn't work right. And sometimes it would dry out a little bit, and you'd pop a couple of drops of water in it and toast it in the microwave for 15 seconds, and boom, it was solid black again. So he might want to try that too if it's not working.
I had a little small
just
black.
Be careful that we weren't here to talk about our porn.
I had a little small bottle of black Higgins.
Be careful about the containers that you put into your microwave so that they don't explode, and don't leave them in there for very long.
I had a small little glass bottle, and it broke, and it went everywhere, and I was really upset. Melissa says
I still love those old glass Higgins bottles, so they were sweet.
About original art, she says, yes, I had some vintage Freddie Williams that were from his high school days. I store out of light. Yeah. She says, stuff on display isn't near direct sunlight. We rotate regularly. And that's something, you buy original art. And, you could put in a portfolio, but if you want it to be seen by visitors to your home, you frame it, and you hope, I didn't realize until looking at a documentary on the museums how they have how much work it takes to preserve those paintings from the great masters.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of work, and it costs a lot of money. Yes. A lot of tech goes into that. It's almost sometimes it doesn't seem worth it.
It's a science in and of itself. Well, a lot of that stuff has to be preserved.
Yeah. She uses portfolios for most items. Yeah. I will agree that
that keeps them very safe.
Yeah. Portfolio you can store that. Randy's got a couple portfolios down. Well, they were on your basement in your bookcase, weren't they? Some portfolios, or do you?
No, I usually I have one portfolio that I take to shows. That's the nicer portfolio, and then the more beat up portfolio, I keep original art that I want to save in, and I've got a file cabinet that I keep that in. And the other artwork that doesn't matter goes into boxes or sits in the file cabinet drawers and just piles up. I try not to keep a lot of the commercial art stuff because there's not a whole lot of demand for it, and there's no resaleability on it.
Mel from email from to Indie Vote Radio. This is from someone in the states. This is from a
That's okay.
Kyle,
We appreciate you wherever you're listening from. We won't
and
hold it against you. Come on.
he says that he thinks,
Except
and
for
I heard this.
Tennessee.
It's weird because I heard this yesterday. Excuse the language, everybody. Cover your children's ears. I won't say the word, but he says he really
Excuse
thinks
me, M A
that
D L S V E.
he thinks that C2E2 really effed the Midwest in terms of exposure to what we're going through now.
For what now?
Exposure of what we're going through now.
Oh, virus
Yeah,
exposure.
yeah. And he says that we should not have had the show. The show should not have happened.
I didn't have
and
the show.
and he hopes that the rest of the shows for this year are taking this into
Now,
consideration.
do they know that there is a whole series of
I don't think so.
corona
I don't think so.
sprung out of C2E2, or is it just your standard con crud inflection? Because whenever I did Chicago, I was down for the next day. As soon as I got back home, I did nothing because I knew my resistance was nothing, and I had picked up whatever con crud was there that I'd have to chase off. So
You knew you were gonna be sick. Yeah, I
I
don't.
knew I was going to be sick. Yeah,
I don't have.
and the wife would never let me forget it either. You always get sick when you come back from those places. Yeah, I know.
I don't think I didn't hear anyone tell me I got sick at C2E2 other than I got
Yeah,
the flu or
because
something. But
that's why I was asking, because
yeah.
I haven't heard that either.
yeah. Mel says we have considered a gun safe because it may be tall enough for the more valuable 11 by 17s. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
gun safes are usually fireproof too, right?
Yeah.
I think they usually are fireproof, so it'd be a good investment maybe to get a gun safe and hope that and put your more precious pieces in there.
Mm-hmm.
Precious pieces. Wow, what's wrong with me today? Better check see if I handle the TIA. Slurring
Though a
words
gun
here.
safe's usually pretty heavy or bolted to the floor, which would make it impossible to toss out a window in case you do have a fire and you want to preserve the area. So,
Mel says also, she says, there have been no reported cases that I have heard. I got very sick at C2E2. A few artists were sick, but none of us were suspected.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think there was some a viral crud going around, but I don't think it was corona.
Yeah.
If it was corona, we'd be hearing about it.
So, I mean, now, obviously, now out there, people are distancing themselves.
Well, yeah, C2E2 won't happen now, or it shouldn't.
Yeah. Do
Not,
you?
not under these circumstances.
Are you-
I sincerely doubt we're going to have conventions until like July or August,
And are you
which
going
has-
back even then?
which has me real nervous about the Saginaw show that I'm
Yeah.
showing at the end of June. But
Yeah, you canceled one show already.
Yeah, I had to cancel that show, and by now I'd have had to totally cancel it anyway because we're under a stay-at-home order. So
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to cancel it. But I mean, you worry about the Saginaw show, and
I'm very worried, very concerned about the Saginaw show. Though the marketplace is still staying open, which is cool. I don't know if we're still under these same restrictions. There's no way it'll be on.
I don't know though. Even if the restrictions clear up in July, if a lot of people
I don't think
want to come back.
That's the next thing the wife tells me. It says that even if the restrictions are lifted, how many people you think are going to go out and want to hang around in the crowd, especially the Saginaw show, because the Saginaw show was shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
So, though it was an awesome, incredible show.
Mel says it'll definitely affect
Yeah.
the attendance.
I think it will. Yep.
I mean, I think it's
Truly
safe
think
to
it
say
will.
too that at this point, San Diego's probably done this year, or at least for the regular time they thought, because they're turning the facility into a
Haven't
homeless
they
shelter.
already pushed back to August or September?
I don't know.
When
If
are
they
they
did,
on?
if they did, I missed that. If they announced that they
Don't-
pushed that back,
Don't go anywhere. I can quickly Google that up.
I know Motor City put out a statement on the 15th that they are still planning for their show in May, but as the situation develops, they'll let everybody know. But
And quite honestly, and I don't mean this to affect their business. This is just my opinion. I think that's incredibly overly optimistic.
well,
They're having it's in July 23rd to the 26th,
yeah.
Comic-Con this year. That's they might be pushing that.
And California is warm though. You think if heat does slow the virus, it would.
Well, we're not going to know for sure. There's so much that they haven't figured out about this virus.
Yeah.
If you catch it once and you're immune forever, or exactly why it's affecting some people and not others. And up until like a week or so ago, all the kids thought that they were okay because all they were going to get was a light cold until, 40. They started mentioning that 40% of the people in the hospitals, at least around here, are 15 to 30.
And there's so much misinformation out there. I seen someone
So
post.
much misinformation. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, can I put that up there, Mel? I don't want to put that up there if you don't want me to. It's, but yeah, yeah, I mean it.
If
That's
she,
probably.
you mean that what she posted there?
Yeah,
She didn't say anything I didn't already say.
yeah. So yeah, I guess it's just
Mel says that she thinks that she's going to say that M's Motor City will probably going to be postponed anyway.
yeah.
From what I've heard, I'm not sure if they wouldn't postpone or just completely cancel it for the year, like
No,
the
you
Olympics,
can't cancel
because
for
it's
the
a
year.
huge event.
Yeah, I mean it is.
And
It's
a
a
lot
big
of times
event.
those big boats are harder to turn around. Same thing with San Diego. I can see San Diego, seeing how the Tokyo Olympics have postponed for a year, that everybody will just say, we're not having a show this year. We're just going to pick it up next year.
I can't. I just.
This could be a year of everybody on hold. To tell you the truth.
Well, you know what the cool thing about it is if you just sit there and do your work and do work next year, you can come back with like 8 or 9 books now.
That's the idea. That's why I'm saying pencils up, man.
Yeah.
Do it. If you're in there, if you're home alone, or home alone, if you're stuck in your house and you don't have anything to do, and the wife's not hounding you for a honeydew list, get your butt behind a board, or your husband isn't bothering you for a honeydew list. Also, to be honest, or fair, your significant other, whatever. Get yourself behind the board and get creative. Channel some of that energy into positivity, and do some freaking awesome cool shit.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do right now.
Just
Because
postpone
not only are you entertaining other people once they get to see it, but you're also keeping yourself up. You're keeping your whole system up. Your brain's active and firing and working. You're being more careful. You're sitting behind the board, or you're working on your story.
It's just postponed. Definitely not cancel Motor City. And yeah, I could see them. I
can't see them postponing and pushing back the date. I can't for the year. I can't see them doing that because they're a big boat, and they have a lot of big people there and a lot of contracts to fulfill. And once everybody's able to move around again, all of their media stars are going to go back into production on anything that they remotely have going. So I think they're going to be in for a giant cluster if they remotely postpone. They're hoping now for that bell curve to drop through the floor, and I can't see that happening. Of cases and deaths. And that's really what you have to look for here. The cases are going to keep rising. It's the deaths that you really have because of the testing cases and the fact that the reagent has been for the test has been a real big pain to circulate. Plus the big thing that you have to watch are the deaths. So if you start seeing the deaths drop dramatically, which is possible anytime, then things might be okay. If not, and we end up with the big scare now is that we're going to end up like Italy or Spain or the way England, it looks like England is going, or who knows how India or Russia are doing, because nothing's coming out of there. And even China, there's word that they haven't totally chased off the virus, even though they swear that they have. There were some reports yesterday saying no, that's not how that works. It's just as bad over there as it's ever been.
Yeah.
They're just letting more people get mobile.
Did you see? I posted it yesterday. And I think Rob just discovered it.
And
30 minutes
we're
ago.
back talking about the virus. We should be talking about comics.
Rob just discovered this on my Facebook. I posted it yesterday. You see how people just push my news to the bottom of everything.
Your news.
Comic-Con's fans had coronavirus refund stolen. Organizer alleges in fraud lawsuit.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Ace Universe sues the company providing the software to process ticket sales. Ace Universe was expecting big things for his March 20th, 22nd Comic-Con in Boston. Chris Evans, Tom Hiddleston, and Chris Hemsworth were among the stars scheduled to attend.
Literally a dream guest cast, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You know how many girls show up from Chris Evans and Tom Hiddleston?
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Everybody.
I'm getting hot just thinking about it myself.
If that was, where was this show at? Boston?
Yeah, which is Chris Evans' hometown, so he has a big following there, right?
He's in the neighborhood then.
Yeah. The event was nearly, I'm not sure he still lives there, but I know he's from there, so I'm imagining that the amount of people that were,
He did that car commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the car.
The car.
Um, the event was nearly sold out. Then came the coronavirus and cancellation. Now comes one of this is from Hollywood Reporter, by the way. Now comes one of the first lawsuits by an entertainment promoter over the fallout from the pandemic. It will hardly be the last. In a complaint filed Monday in New York federal court, Ace accuses Grotix of stealing millions of dollars of customer refunds. Additionally, the lawsuit alleges that Ace gave Grotix $680,000 to facilitate refunds, only to be advised that the refund plan no longer worked. The event organizer is now suing for breach of contract and fraud as the vendor puts the blame squarely on Ace. Um, Now,
Melissa
Ace
would
used to be
like to
Wizard.
point out that Chris Evans does not need to observe social distancing with her. It's a public service announcement.
Chris, you got to go ahead, sir. You got
That's
to
a
go
chance she'll happily take.
ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no social distancing required from Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
Even my mother has a crush.
If you get my wife close to Jason Momoa, there won't be any, probably won't be any social distancing. Somebody's getting a hug.
Yeah, it's yeah. It says though that Grotix provided ticketing service and the event management software. According to the complaint, Grotix was to be compensated based on a percentage of sales, and the two companies had an agreement with each other covering the process of refunds and the event and cancellation. That contract also contained a force majeure, is that it, majeure provision, which Ace says excused performance with the parties, prevented from living up to obligations by reason of governmental action or an act of God beyond control.
Act of God.
But what happened was, yeah, they had, and it gets a little bit, worse. So apparently, let me see here. I want to make sure I find that
Deep
part.
reporting by Eric Gardner, who spells his name with a Q.
Yeah, yeah. That's the first time I've seen that, by the way. The
Yeah,
loss to
that's why I
Ace,
mentioned it.
yeah, due to defendants' improper conduct, will amount to the hundreds of thousands of dollars in improper transactional fees, and even more, much greater harm to its reputation with the inevitable failure to meet its refund obligations. Patron Technologies tells a different story about what happened because they said that they sent in the money for the refunds, and then they got told that they not only weren't they getting refunds, that they needed more money. They weren't giving out. They were going to keep the money that Ace had sent to them for refunds. So I'll read that part to you here.
Obviously, some signals were crossed.
Yeah, the parties agreed that all customers would receive a full refund within 30 days of Ace notice. The fans in Ace Northeast had been shut down, says the complaint. In reliance upon the refund agreement, Ace refunded $680,000 to Grotix to use for refunding customers, and two, Ace made an announcement on March 11, 2020 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram that all customers will receive full refunds after the government shutdown of the event in response to the coronavirus. But less than a week later, continues the complaint, Ace received a letter from the chief of Grotix corporate parent Patron Technologies advising that it was not only withholding the money transferred to it for refunds, so that's $680,000, but was also demanding more money from Ace in regards to its own fees. Patron sought to attach and withdraw $2.3 million from Ace bank accounts in the middle of the night. Fortunately, this unauthorized attack on Ace bank account, which would have jeopardized the company and all but destroyed any chance of refunds, was prevented. I've also had a similar problem. It was for my phone bill. I didn't think they were going to hit me twice when the money wasn't there. They did. I had phone service, but I couldn't get Taco Bell that day. I was very upset. I didn't follow also though. Yeah, I didn't follow also. What do you guys think about that, Mr. Eric Gardner and
It's
his
Eric. It's Eric.
Yeah, Eric. What do you guys think?
Surprised he didn't. I'm surprised he didn't spell it with an A and a PH in there.
Eric. What do you think about that? Is that
It'd be silent. It'd be silent.
they're not getting their refunds back, man. That's not cool.
No, but it's one of those situations that's going to take a little judge nudging, some lawyers talking, and you're really screwing my client kind of stuff, and some mean words, a few letters, and it'll get it straightened out. It's going to take some time though.
I did see someone who posted this article.
This is very similar to the Marriott, Florida situation where they said, "Well, screw you, we want money."
I seen someone on who posted an article on Facebook said I'm out of.
And then they turned around and said, "Oh, our bad. We'll settle up with you."
They were out of a
You
couple
know,
thousand because they had
active
they
guy.
had purchased photo ops and they hadn't got that money yet, and a lot of people
Yeah,
could use it right now. They could use that
yeah.
$1,000 or $2,000 they had
You
put
can
down
now. Yep.
for a fan experience. I'm gonna start changing. I'm gonna start charging for fan experiences. I think it's time.
I'm not. I
It's
think it's suggestive.
I know. I think the fans should start paying me for
Hey, baby,
experience.
you want a fan experience?
Oh Lord.
No.
Why'd I open that door?
There you go.
I should have left that door closed. It was
Just
closed,
saying.
and
Some doors are best
opened
left
it.
unopened.
And I opened it. If you want to come in and chat with Randy and I, the chat link is now in the chat, so you can click on
Link
that
is
and
in the chat.
yeah, you can come on in and talk with us and let us know how you feel. If you hate what's going on, if you have some, what are you doing to pass the time? Are you reading any comics? Did you go back and redraw the entire? Did you go back and reread the entire Walking Dead continuity and compendiums? Volume 4 is I don't have that. I have 1, 2, and 3. I don't have 4 yet. Mel says I could use $400. Delta still has from me for my Emerald City Comic Con airfare.
Yeah.
They haven't given that back yet, Mel.
Sure. I'm sure a lot of folks. Yeah, a lot of these companies are waiting until the first of the month, also, so that the interest can roll around. I'm waiting for one right now from the market. They already told me we're not cutting the check for that until after the first. So, any chance for them to hold on to money to the bank for the interest rollover to the start of the month, they're going to do it. So, I suspect there'll be a lot of refunds happen on the first.
Trico says I'm going to charge for fan experience as soon as I get fans.
There we go. Nope. She says she hasn't been reimbursed yet. Yeah, hang in there. It's probably coming next couple of weeks. Well, it takes us a while to process your refunds. You know, they'll give you whatever excuse they can to keep that money sitting in their account for a little while longer, so that they can take the interest from it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Corporations are screwy like that. They seem to want to make money every possible way out of every orifice they can find.
Ew.
That's the way it is.
But by the way, if you guys are looking for some nice Captain America entertainment, I suggest the old 76 series. It is fascinating.
If you're looking for good Captain America entertainment, go buy the first couple of Essentials. There you go. All the
Mel
way through
says
the Steve Englehart era. That's good prime stuff.
Mel says they will give me $190 credit for a future fair.
Yeah, but that's not money out of their account. See,
Yeah,
that's what that is. If
Yeah.
you want money from them, you'll wait until it rolls over in the
they're gonna give
monthly
you
interest rate. Yeah.
they give you $109 credit for a future fair on yeah no guys
On $400, I bet they would.
on a future fair. But plane tickets are cheap right now. In
Just
fact,
tell them if you give me 3 of those, you might be even.
I got some friends that are really talking about getting plane tickets, going places. I see someone say, buy that plane ticket. Don't stop living. I'm like, if I buy that plane ticket, there's a good chance I'm going to stop living very soon.
If you buy that plane ticket, it's a good chance you're not going to be able to fill it in anyway for a couple of months.
Yeah.
I already told Monica, as soon as all this stuff dies down, we're road tripping. Jump in a car and, I don't know, probably do a tour of ancient tribal land.
She says that they ain't giving me shit. Oh, so they're not giving it back. They're not giving her the 400 back. They're just giving her
They're not giving you the
$100.
400, or did they just tell you to wait for a minute for that we'll consider your refund, and then, unless they wrote on their ticket that it was non-refundable.
I think what they're saying is that they're going to give her $100 credit for a future fare. No, she says not for Seattle. I checked the flights for reschedule. Yeah, still 400. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Trico says I'm making money out of area orifice. I thought you weren't going to talk about your porn career.
No.
Mel. See,
We're talking about corporations. It's even worse.
Yeah, I think you need to.
They just painfully screw you with usually without being on tape. So.
Like the event I was going to was canceled due to coronavirus. I mean, I'm not going to Seattle.
Like I said, it's going to take some lawsuits because these tight-wadded corporations don't want to let loose of the funds. And a lot of these guys will do it after the first. Oh, we're so sorry. Our customer service is our number one concern. And then suddenly everybody will get cut checks, But in the meantime, They've made hundreds of dollars in interest off of your money that you haven't used, and they haven't had to fly you anywhere. So, bonus.
I need to. I'm gonna try to get away with some stuff like that. Yeah, I don't pay any bills after the first. Oh, you called me on the second. Sorry, sir. I can't pay that after the first of the.
Well, that's what the package is for. The government stimulus package. They're sending money around for you to try to cover your bills. You know, that's what it's intended for. It's not party money.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to help you out as much as they possibly can, even though it's really a drop in the bucket to the amount of sheer chaos that this virus has caused. Everybody's financial situation.
She says they would have given me a full credit if I had bought after March 1st, but I bought back in January when I got confirmation my artist got in. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, that is that is let's see that when that happens you just
Yeah, and you would think it'd be exactly the opposite.
yeah. Yeah. Now, Randy, have you ever had a convention cancel on you and you like how what's the earliest or the latest a convention canceled on you? Like were you ever on the
I
road and
don't
found out
ever
the show was
remember
canceled?
that. I don't ever remember that happening.
No?
No, I've attended a couple of conventions that definitely should have been canceled,
Mm.
but I've never gone to a show that by the time I got there that I remember that was canceled. I could
Mm.
be wrong. My memory, started failing about 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, yeah. Was it? Has it been 10 years since you started failing? I seem to recall it a lot earlier than that. um, that's I
That's what
don't.
all I want to admit to. You know.
I remember going to a con that I having a con canceled on me. It was yeah. Mel says grasp. Wow. Um, yeah,
I wasn't
that
going to mention any names. That was an okay show. It just nobody made any money, but we got to talk to a lot of friends and socialize a lot.
I remember the front room was packed. The front room was packed.
On Grasp,
Yeah, front room was packed. Grass. It was the front room was packed. I remember the back where I was at though. It was kind of sparse, but did have a good time. Probably because well, I can't say that. Well, I had a good time, but yeah, I did have a great time that show. I had a great time.
especially what they called Grasp. No.
Yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time. There was a lot
You
of
know,
great
there's
stuff.
always conventions that you're at where mistakes were made, and there's always conventions that you're gonna have where you don't make nothing, where you're just sitting there in the grand void all day looking for somebody to walk by your table.
Question for actually for it's weird. Question for mail from someone listening on Indie Radio from I don't it doesn't show where they're from though. It's still loading where they're from, but it says well it shouldn't the artist it said shouldn't the artist help you or refund that ticket price for you. I don't what Mel usually does is she goes to cons and her and her husband are very active in the comic book community and they got they'll help out if they see you out. Her husband's a podcaster. She is an avid member of the comic book community, but she will we like Mel because if you need to use the bathroom or you need somebody to run your table, say you don't feel like being there. I know one artist he couldn't make it to the show on I think it was Friday or Saturday. He couldn't make it, and he ended up luckily Mel was there to run his table for him. Oops,
Yeah.
run his table for him. But should an artist? That's a good question. That's a really good question. If I ask someone to come down and help me, and then that person can't, the ticket's refunded. I mean, should I pay that? I probably would. I probably would feel responsible for it. I just probably would feel responsible that you were coming down to help me. That's just, me.
Really, though, it's the airlines that's really being irresponsible, just not
Yeah.
giving her a refund, going, yeah, okay, or even giving her a full credit back.
Yeah. She says I was going for fun. He didn't even. Yeah, I had never been to Seattle. Yeah, so yeah, she wasn't requested. Yeah, so
That's what you get for wanting to go to Seattle.
yeah,
Just kidding.
Seattle's I don't think I've ever been to Seattle. No, I've never been to Seattle.
It's a mess.
Is it?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've never been out there. I understand it's built on the previous Seattle, though.
No. So
There's
a lot of
that
ghosts
going
there.
for it. Huh?
There's a lot of ghosts there. She says this is true. I had fun there, and Soydom got all the tables you could ever ask for.
Oh boy, yeah. That was going to happen again this year too.
Yeah. Oh, Arthur Soydam is very happy about this. He's going to take all the tables.
Not all the tables.
Yeah, every table. Uh, uh, all the tables are gonna be taken by Arthur. He's gonna have the Arthur Con, Soy Con. Well,
Satum.
yeah, Soydam Con. Soydam.
Soydam. No, Satum.
Soydam. Soydam.
Con. Satum Con 1.
Yeah.
I was going to. I was going for fun.
Yeah. And then she says also, and my artist takes care of me. I'm not taking anything from his kids. Yeah. I mean that's
not his fault anyway. It's the freaking airlines.
Yeah.
And that should be considered enough to give her a refund.
And we'll say this though, I've had booth girls who don't share that same concern that Mel does. They don't give a damn. They want a free ticket in. They want me to get their boyfriend free ticket in. I remember I was at a convention. We had a booth
of 15.
Yeah, we had a booth girl, and there was a guy, and I'm like, oh, that guy is really checking you out. Try to sell him a comic, and she laughed. Turns out that guy was her boyfriend, and he stood there for like 3 hours, just in the middle of the aisle, just like rocking back and forth. And I'm looking at this guy, and he was her boyfriend, and he was I guess there to
observe.
Yeah, observe and see how things are going.
That's how solid his self-esteem was. She's gonna talk to somebody wrong.
And another year, a totally different girl. Her boyfriend went and got on the volunteer list so he could be at the con.
Just wanted to be with her, is all.
Yeah. Just wanted to.
Just wanted to be next to her.
Yeah.
In the same spot as she was.
Yeah.
I'm sure that relationship's probably done now.
Oh, it ended shortly after the convention. It was weird. No. Yeah. I've had boyfriends ask me, can boyfriends? I haven't had any boyfriends. I've had booth girls' boyfriends ask me if they could come to the convention with us. Like, can I ride down with you guys? Could I stay in the hotel room? One of the things we used to always get mad about was the girls would be I'd get the girls a hotel room. Mm-hmm. And the boyfriends would want to come visit. So let's just say Novi. I was staying out there so all the girls have a central place to meet. So that morning I woke up, took a shower, went out in the lobby. Well, the girls are coming in and they were going to my hotel room, and my wife was in there, and she was meeting all as they came in and helping them with their costumes, and she was getting ready herself. And one of the girls comes up with her boyfriend, and he starts heading toward the hotel room, and I stop him. He said, "Oh, I'm going in with her." I said, "No, the girls are getting dressed in there. You can't go in there." Well, why? She's going in. I said, "Okay, so I understand that's my girlfriend. I understand that's your girlfriend. If I let every boyfriend in that hotel room, then they just didn't understand. I had guys try to fight each other because one thought another one's looking at his girlfriend. So we started.
Why are you looking at my woman for?
Yeah, we start like getting rid of all your significant others. They gotta go. They can't come to the show.
The hassles of having a booth babe.
Yeah, it was rough. And then you had some that were. Then I had booth girls that were totally professional.
Yeah.
They came to the show. They did what they had to do. They memorized their lines. They didn't ask for anything additional than what they were, contracted to get. I had one booth girl actually take it personally that she couldn't make sales. She didn't even want to take her. We had to force her payment on her. She didn't want to take it because she couldn't make any sales that day. She just couldn't do it, and she felt really bad about taking money, and we paid her, but she just felt horrible about it. And that's the type of people you want to work with. Those type of people that you normally get excited about working with again because they're
looking out for you too. So it's all good. Yep.
She says, there was a con attendant that had a booth girl who ran through the publisher's entire per diem on Thursday night and got out of control, running all over the hotel, and the cops were called. Was that one of mine? Was that one of my girls? I don't know. Yeah.
Adventure Con.
Again, and I'll read that again for anybody who maybe didn't hear it. There was a con you attended that had a booth girl who ran through the publisher's entire per diem on Thursday night and got out of control, running all over the hotel, and the cops were called. And yeah, I mean, look, it gets pretty crazy, some of these shows. That's why Randy goes home after shows. He goes to his hotel room and he goes quickly to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I learned a while ago that the partying really doesn't do anything outside of hinder your ability to do business the next day.
Well,
So unless you go out, I'll go out and have a casual dinner with somebody. Absolutely. There's a group of us that go out and laugh and have a good dinner and, so look at our watches and go, hey, it's 11 o'clock. We better turn in.
well, the thing is, Randy, you told me
Not going to run out and party.
you told me stories about how sometimes, and you and a lot of guys who come before us, it was actually a lot more wild at that point.
Oh yeah,
when
it
you
was
guys
party central, but that was back during the party times anyway, 70s
yeah.
and 80s and that. Yeah, most of the big stars wouldn't show up on Sunday until noon.
I mean, you could lick a
And
comic.
then they were holding their head. I did a Chicago show one time that Marvel actually paid for the liquor, where I drank myself sober at. And they had a sketch pad there for people to draw on. That's probably one of the many reasons why I never got any work, freelance work at Marvel. You know, but that was a heck of a party. But that was also a hell of a Sunday. An incredibly bad, rough Sunday that I will never forget. That's why that you only need to do a couple of those to really have that raging hangover to realize you just don't do that at shows. If you wanna do business and be responsible at shows, it's nice to socialize. There's no harm in that, but it's not right to get yourself ripped, snorting drunk.
Mm-hmm.
That just begs for trouble.
Rip snorting drunk.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys also had lickable pages.
You get buzzed. Buzzed is fine, especially if you're in your own hotel and you're not driving anywhere. That's cool. But rip, snorting drunk? No. No.
You guys
I did a science fiction convention one time with Ralph that we started slamming half cups of vodka straight.
Oh,
yes. Hey, I can take this. Not a problem. Boom.
You guys had lickable LSD laced comic pages though. Tell me about that.
What? No. We didn't.
Yeah, back in the day they had.
No, that wasn't us. No. That wasn't us.
Let's talk about the lickable LSD comic pages, Randy.
We had a
Dr. Strange
couple
was
of crazy weekends at the Arrow Comics offices, but that's a whole nother story.
we had
Where we got a little over recreational. We had some substances that we were trying for the first time. Had a good video marathon. So we rented every odd crazy movie, and we didn't sleep that night, and just stayed up and drinking beers, and in order to balance out the other recreationals that we had already taken, and started watching every odd. Got to see Pink Flamingos and Lynch's Eraserhead.
That's horrible.
That kind of thing, all in a row. Boom, boom.
Did you
boom.
guys create anything after that?
Not that night. No.
Nah. See. You guys are. See, normally when you do stuff like that, you're supposed to go create stuff, but you guys kind of. You guys
with what we were on, we were deeply socially analyzing each film as we were watching it. Well, this is where what's her face eats the dog poop. And this means this and that socially, and she's making a bold statement about that, and that kind of stuff. So,
I see.
Pink Flamingos.
I see.
If we get a chance.
You guys were having what's the I can't think of the name of the actor of the
It's been I was a big fan of a lot of Turkey movies back in the day when videotape was first out. So I got to see every bad B horror movie that was out during that period. So
you guys were having
there was some classic stuff back then.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas moments. Fear and Loathing while making comic books.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear and Loathing while doing comics.
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of loathing. There's a little bit of fear there for a while, but we used the beer to balance out the effects of the drugs. So it was all good.
I do have a
I
another.
think we went through an entire case that night between the three of us.
See, I don't drink that much. Although I've started since I've been
We did
locked
that
in.
night. We did that night.
I've been locked in. I've been knocking them back. So, quick question for you.
Everything in moderation, folks. You got to stay healthy. Keep yourself healthy as much as possible.
For Indie Volt Radio.
The better your immune system, the better your life in general.
Is there ever a time? It's about Booth Girls.
There's a time and a place for everything.
It is from John. He says, well, okay, most girl, or I'll read his question as he wrote it. Most comic book artists, most comic book artists bring booth girls because they want to sleep with them. Was that still the case in the 70s and 80s? And is it the case now? Randy,
That's where all that started, dude. What are you talking about? You know, you had a very that's where a lot of the booth that's where cosplay started. You know, it was from booth babes at the shows. Really, after parties where somebody would come out dressed as Red Sonja, you know, in the chainmail bikini, or again, you have to look back and put this in the context of the times also, because the 70s and 80s were a very the comics were at an incredibly immature, misogynistic period. You know, mostly guys. You know, your stereotype nerd dude who'd hang around the basement. Sometimes they were socially closeted. Very rare was there a woman at any of these shows. Very rare. And if she was there, it was somebody else's girlfriend or somebody that got dragged to the show. And it wasn't very often that you found a female that was actually into comics. And those were, what would they call it? Unicorns. You know, those were magically delicious. And everybody would argue over if there was somebody at that show that actually read comics that was female. Oh, my goodness. You know, I got to get a date there, you know.
yeah.
That's just it, but it was the way that the times are. Times are a lot different now. Things are a lot more diverse, a lot more open in gender diversity and everything else, every other category that you can imagine, which is really the way the business always should have been. But we were so castrated by that Comic Code Authority that the art form literally narrowed down to a small demographic. And then once the direct market kicked up, that's all that was left. And that's literally what Diamond told you was your demographic. And they didn't want to promote you unless you were color superhero books.
In
You need to turn your volume
Scott,
down.
turn your volume
Scott.
down a little bit.
Thanks for coming on, though.
Can you hear us?
Are you there?
Yeah, turn your volume down a bit,
It's looking
Scott.
funny.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah. Now you're loud.
Yeah, now you're nice and loud.
But yeah, the booth babes at there, was there a lot of wild sex? That it was during the times there was a lot of wild sex going on. So,
Yeah.
and people were partying a little bit more than they should have been. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. morning. I was digitally trying to knock on the door for a little while. Didn't know Varian was keeping an eye out for us in there.
We've got you in a green room here. We can.
Melissa says back in the 90s, I was in the minority going to shows for the comics.
Yeah.
You're right. And Mel, I don't know.
Much the minority.
I don't know how made it. I don't know how Mel made it through the 90s, because Mel, on top of being at that point young, was I've seen her cosplay, and like as a young Asian woman walking through the convention, guys, I'm guessing, you know, they probably were there chasing behind you, you know. I'm pretty sure you heard your fair share of comments, Mel.
I take it Mel doesn't have the means to get online.
To
talk to us on the
Oh,
stream.
well, no, she's at work. She's working right now.
Oh, she's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's, you know, so
Understand.
yeah.
Because she'd be welcome up here anytime. We can
Yeah,
come here.
yeah.
And I can see where I agree, Randy. She would have been the rare exception.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Trico says that you're here. Now it's a party.
well, I brought my morning coffee, by God, so you bet it is.
That's what the morning show is all about. We'll start every show with pouring a cup of coffee.
And then,
well, you know, real quick, if I can add to that a little bit.
Sorry, Mel. My husband would kill
I would
me.
say, I would say a lot of that pure male attendance at comic shows really started changing when a lot of the shows were bringing in actual porn stars and strippers as guests. Randy, you remember our great friend.
I think that was more of a coincidence, though, that it started shifting. I think the thing that really shifted it was a lot of the content started shifting.
Well,
You
that's
know,
true. That's
and
true. But
and I think the number one thing that brought in a female audience was DC and Vertigo, especially with Sandman and the fact that they had acquired the Star Trek contract at that point. And there were a lot of the women that were coming to the shows were looking for Trek books and Sandman and ElfQuest, and that was it.
that's true. That now let me rephrase my statement with my tongue
Okay.
much more firmly tied to the teeth.
Okay.
Because I remember we had Glory Ann was
Gilbert, yeah.
was a great guest at a
remember that
lot of
well.
the Motor City shows.
Mhm.
And I remember you and I struck up a friendship with her. And geez, I can't help but wonder, we'd go home and say, "Hey, Susie, Gloria Ann Gilbert, the stripper was there." What? What? Well, I'll fix this.
You know what? I remember
Coming to shows.
I remember going to
I never know when you're kidding, Scott. I never,
Oh, nobody ever does. Right?
I went to a
I've
Comic
got to
Con,
fix my delivery.
and there was a the first like adult star I ever knew by name was there. Her name was Tiffany Taylor, and I really remember that name because I went to school with a girl with the same name, and who was also very high on my list. But I seen Tiffany Taylor at Motor City Comic Con, and I was just awestruck by her, and I'm like, what do I say to her? What do I say to her? Like, do I go up there and I'm thinking to myself, I know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna shake her hand. I'm gonna say, "Hi, Tiffany. You're like the lead in every masturbatory fantasy I've ever had." But I didn't say that. Thank God. He said,
You don't need to,
suddenly
very.
she's standing back, going, "What hand are you shaking?
Yeah.
What hand are you shaking with?"
The songs are legendary in the mountains.
Way up in the mountain
Mel says, I remember her at the
where the
yeah.
goats roam.
Yeah, she's a gorgeous woman. I was so taken by her. I thought she was so pretty, and I went up and I shook her hand like a freaking nerd. Like, hi.
Poor. You poor bastard.
We've all probably done that at one point or another.
And she said,
Probably.
"Hello, sweetie. How are you?" And
Oh,
look, black people don't blush, but I swear to you, I did. I must have blushed like I must have turned complete. Oh God, I was.
I want a photo of that.
Yeah. My cheekbones were way up here, and I was.
I can see him.
Yeah.
I told you my first San Diego story, right? I was in
Yeah.
San Diego first time.
Hey, wait a second. Let's recognize Melissa here.
Okay.
Oh, she remembers her at the
She
MCC, and then
remembers her
she's
at MCC. Yeah.
yeah, and then she's. I was having really good. It was really great having the women's bathrooms empty. All the representation. I missed the bathrooms with no lines.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right. That would have been something we would have ever known about.
Yeah.
Varian used that line the first time he met me too.
Yeah.
Was it in the bathroom? Really?
It was in the bathroom. It was in the bathroom. I met Trico. No,
Wow. I was in
He
San
wasn't
Diego.
He wasn't offering to wash your hands, was he, Brandy? I hope.
we didn't wash hands back then. We didn't wash hands all this
Didn't
time.
Oh my God!
No.
Don't even talk like that. Oh my God!
I was at San Diego selling comics with Motor City, and I'm on the phone to the wife telling her about the experience because it's such a huge con. And I'm there talking to her, and I went, "Oh my God!" She went, "What?" I says, "Well, you know that porno that we watched before I come out here with the little white girl and the black girl getting it on?" She goes, "Yeah." I says, "Well, the white girl just walked past me."
Wow.
And she goes, "And you're going to go get your picture with her, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I am."
Yes, I am. Excuse me. I don't know.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yes, excuse me, but it's time to go, hon. Click, But yeah, I gave her copies of the comics. I got a picture of her, Did the fanboy, I like your work. Kind of thing. She literally came up to my underarm, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh my gosh! A lot of them are very small,
Very short.
stature.
But yeah.
But you know that.
That was a great show. Yeah.
Oh, now see, I've never been to San Diego, but I was forever a rat haunting Chicago con. I mean, I've done almost all of them. Yeah. And I remember the few Wizard Worlds after they bought out the original old Chicago con. Mm-hmm. One year they invited, at least a half a dozen porn stars.
Yeah.
And that did not work out very well at all. I remember because one, they found a lot of people with kids were wandering around there, and they were just blowing a gasket, which I don't blame them, because you go to a Comic Con and you're told, oh, it's got Spider-Man, got Barry, you see, all this, and then you come across this porn star who's got, discreet 8x10 glossies on their table.
Oh yeah.
And it was just the storm that got brewed up.
That was back during a time when they were transitioning from being a mostly misogynistic older male oriented group to being family friendly.
Right.
I'll tell you guys this.
But one last thing. Plus, the porn stars themselves were just absolutely despicable. Oh my God. They treated everybody like crap. And one girl, I think it was Aria Giovanni.
Don't say anything bad about her.
And the thing is, she spent the entire time on her phone and couldn't be bothered to even say hi to anybody. And it was just, and everybody else was, a lot of them were laughing at these guys coming up to the table and just making ridiculing comments, thinking the whole thing was just one big joke. And it was just, nobody really appreciated them being there other than the fact they provided an eye candy at a distance.
Yeah. You know,
it's terrible.
I will tell you something that's funny. I had booth girls and I had the shot girls for a while. I do remember the body paint girls. Mel, they got
we very much
very
remember
quickly.
The body paint girls. Yeah. Even though
but,
they weren't there for the whole day, I don't think they even got past the door.
What show was that at?
Motor City.
Oh, at Motor City. Okay.
Yeah.
Full body paint, little patches over the naughty parts. Full body paint. And
you guys know.
Says, Mike Goldman come out and says, "You're not coming in. you're not. You need to go."
Hey. Joined by Mr. Stone, Mr. Luke
Mr. Stone. How are you, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
Thanks for coming on our show. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I do want to show you guys something though. I've had booth girls, and my wife is one of my booth girls, and here's a group picture of all the girls together at a photo shoot we did. And it was funny because they were all at my table. Well, the girls I felt bad because I always felt like the girls should make more money. And one of the things that happened was we made cards for the girls and little flyers and posters. And I was like, if you guys can sell these posters, whatever you make on your poster, you keep. Well, there was a girl that was walking past the table, and she was with like two friends of hers, and she looked at the table, she glanced at it and seen the photos, and the girl said, "What do we have here?" And the girl said, "Oh, a bunch of skanks," while looking at the photos. But then her eye line lifted, and she seen the very girl she called skanks sitting behind the table, well within ear distance.
Wow.
I've never seen a girl move that fast. She had a limp when she walked down there. Wow. The limp disappeared, and she got her ass down that aisle and never returned. She had a 3-day pass. I never seen her again.
Wow.
So
she wasn't going to walk down that aisle.
Yeah, she knew they had heard her. Luke Stone. Luke Stone is joining us. Luke has a book currently crowdfunding. Luke, I had the link and then my browser closed. So
I get you a link.
I found 3 and 4, but I can't find 5.
I got you. I got you covered, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it really a Comic Con anymore if the FBI doesn't raid it for bootleg videos?
Oh man. Melissa, you are so on top of it. Oh my God, yes.
She's
been doing shows for a while.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Yeah.
I remember the great raid of Motor City show was back in 06 or something. 03.
The good times. Yeah. I remember.
I'll tell you a story about that show. We were
Sorry to get off topic, Luke. We'll get back to you in a second.
That's fine. I want to hear this story.
Is that Susie and I were at the show, and that was when we were going to Motor City every single year religiously for a long time. And the thing is, we saw the agents come in, we saw the police, and all these tables were
carting the big cart.
Oh my God, it's terrible. And the thing is, we were the last to get out of there because we made a habit of staying every show to the absolute last minute and wouldn't fold up the table until 5:01. And story for later on, Randy. We credit you for having us form that habit. Anyway, we were there and we were folding it, getting our stuff all together, and a couple of guys were wandering the nearly empty floor, and they come up to us, and they said, "Wow, what a show!" I go, "Yeah, that was really something." And he said to us, "Hey, do you want to buy any bootleg videos?" What? Are you kidding me? We just go through that, the last day and a half here.
He's just putting that out there for
said,
you.
No, we don't want to buy any bootleg videos. Are you crazy? He goes, "Well, I was just asking," and he was wandering away. Just, oh my God. Talk about blatancy. Yeah, the guy had a pair as big as a.
Did he have a cane?
What do you want? Have a cane?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
So he can walk?
No, I had a guy that would offer me all sorts of stuff there for many years. We became pretty good friends.
Really something.
Yeah, because there was a while there I would tell him that, I'm really not interested in anything except, and I'd make some outlandish, movie that I knew wasn't in circulation. And then he'd come back 2 or 3 years later and he found it. Especially the old serials, because the Vigilante serial was a big one. You got a line on the Vigilante serial? Because if you find that, I'd buy a copy of it from you. I don't know, and I knew there weren't any copies around. Well, somebody had a copy eventually.
Yeah.
And the copy he ended up selling to me was pristine too. It was really, really cherry. It was a really good version of that. Yeah, I didn't think it existed.
I sat next to a guy in what town was that? Allentown, Pennsylvania. And the guy was a dead ringer for like Kevin Dunn, the actor, dead ringer for him. And he was selling nothing but bootlegs. But that's that he actually sold me a copy of Fantastic Journey on DVD.
Okay.
Bootleg copy.
Cool.
And it was because of the name Varian. And but I remember the weirdest thing about the guy is he's looking at at that point, 20-year-old Lola?
Yeah.
And he's staring at her. And he's like,
"Oh,
hey man, hey, is that your girlfriend or a baby mama situation?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Well," and without missing a beat, he says, you guys stay in a particular hotel? Maybe I can come visit." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait, no, that's what? Are you serious right now?" Yeah. He was. We got a mad walker right now.
Now, before we go into Luke's story, before we go into Luke's story, Luke, I want to compliment you on your film noir presentation of your screen icon.
What's that now?
Your film noir lighting of your studio there.
This is my window.
Yeah.
So I get
welcome to my window.
Florida sun for my lighting.
Who does your lighting? Orson Welles? I mean,
Florida. Florida does his lighting.
Florida sun does my lighting for me.
I pride myself on having my view of my screen icon lit like a 60s TV sitcom. So.
I see everyone with their comics and stuff. I'm going to grab my convention banners and start sticking them up behind me. Now you see Bob. I got Bob for Christmas a couple years ago.
Yeah,
good idea.
He's a tall stormtrooper. I love that guy.
Oh, wow. Then pull back. Let me see. Oh, that's cool. Is that one of those 20-inch figures? Or
no, he's like
taller than 20. He's got to be 24.
Yeah, he's tall.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
He's like 3 feet tall.
Before the shutdown, Susan and I were in a Goodwill store, and somebody snagged a big 24-inch Batman figure, which I was just so jealous of.
Wow!
Bought it for like $5.
Which version of Batman was it?
It actually looked like the Ben Affleck version.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow! I've got several more of the 20-inchers, 24-inch characters in my office, but my wife was able to sneak that little gem in the house without me finding out a couple Christmases ago, so it was pretty cool.
Wow. I would love to have my hand on some of those 12-inch figures, Star Wars figures that originally came out. My wife Susie had some of those. My God, we'd love to still have those. Yeah. They're going for huge bucks on eBay.
I'm still thinking about venturing out, Scott, and there's a bakery down the street from me, and I happen to know they put all their equipment out, and while there's nobody out, I was thinking about getting myself one of those really nice baker things you got behind you for my art. Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to go there. I've got about 5 of them in my garage, all disassembled and stored flat. You can get one from me for $300. That's won't be much.
See, I can steal from them.
Oh,
Making
that's right. No, won't let you steal from me. That's right.
That's right.
That pesky ownership thing.
But we can't talk about thievery. We're on here with the good pastor Luke Stone, and
I don't like many believers. I have had a sordid past, so
Sordid.
yeah.
I do know how to hotwire a car, and I do know how to pick a lock. So
Is that where my car went? I knew
Luke,
it was somebody who I knew you were.
I'm sure he came all the way from Florida to Muskegon to take your car.
yeah,
Oh, I do nothing but choice rides. So
I'll hitchhike there. Just
but that tells you you definitely want to be around Luke if the apocalypse happens, because at least you can get a car.
Yeah.
And so Luke, this is your book from Starcross Comics, Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, 1 through 5, the complete first arc. Now, this is on Kickstarter. I know your other campaigns were on Indiegogo at one point.
yeah.
So
I'm
now-
not going to do the Indiegogo thing anymore.
No. So
why not?
Number one, it's just too exhausting.
Mhm.
Okay. To run 2 campaigns. And the return on investment hasn't been that great. I've noticed that I'm able to do more and reach more with Kickstarter than I am with Indiegogo.
So that's a matter of not wanting to do Indiegogo in addition to Kickstarter or Indiegogo at all.
Just in addition to Kickstarter. I like the platform of Indiegogo. I like that. One of my other books is on In Demand over there. So I like the platform. I think the platform's just fine. But there's a lot of stigma around the platform as well.
Indiegogo?
Yeah, with a certain group of people and
An uneducated stigma. Yeah.
an uneducated stigma. Yeah, and I don't have a problem with many of those people over there. So I have a problem with a few people over there, but not a lot of people over there. So I mean, I still. It's not a decision of that if there's no politics in it. It's just I don't want to run 2 campaigns back to back. It's exhausting.
I don't blame you. It's hard enough to do one.
Yeah. Well, when I run one campaign, my family loses me for like however long the length of the campaign is. I go into full like marketing mode, and I'm always promoting.
That's a godsend in my house. My
have
kids
to
would
do.
love to get rid of me for about a month, I'm sure.
now, I want to bring something up that Luke kind of does something that Rob does. He's already met his goal on Kickstarter. $432 is he reached his goal already. He only wanted $200. He's only asking $200. 26 backers, still got 24 days to go, so he's already reached his campaign goals. Now, I want to.
What's the 200 going to be for?
It was just to do a very modest little print run.
It's for taking care of the print run, printing.
Yeah. Everything else is been paid for out of pocket.
Wow.
And so I expect that I'll make that back. So I do my own art. I do pay a layout artist to help me out, speed process along, and then I've been paying for a colorist for these books here. And so it runs me about $800 to make a comic, and so I know I'll make that back at conventions. I would have made that back at conventions
when they start back.
How long of convention time does it take to make that back?
I need 3 to 4 good weekends, and I can sell that. I can move about last year. The way things were working, I was moving about 150 total units a convention. So,
gotcha. Good.
So, yeah.
Is that bad? Let me run the video for the book. Sure. Let me see here. Doesn't have copyrighted music in it, does it?
No. I know better than that.
All right. Just want to make sure,
Oh, while we're doing this, hey Rob, how we doing?
Is he there?
Down there, right?
He's muted. Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah,
he's
he's
driving.
muted.
All right. I'm gonna play this video of hybrids. Here we go.
Of course, it'd be good if you turn the sound up. Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. Trash Day, Part 5.
Part 5.
There's no sound.
No sound?
There's no
What
sound.
the hell? Hold on.
We're not hearing anything. which is really good for our Indie Volt radio listeners. What's our
Yeah. They just got a bunch of dead air. I'm sorry.
What's our radio number right now as we speak?
Yeah, radio number right now is 8,112 people.
Thanks for hanging in there, folks.
So yeah, thanks for hanging in there. We appreciate you on Indie Volt Radio listening. I know you can't see the video, but you got on Kickstarter Hybrids and Sons of God.
Even as variants.
Well, if you put your ear really, really close to the computer or your phone device, you can hear
it. Here we go. I'm gonna play it now.
And now you're gonna blast them out.
Yeah. Now you all asked. Now you all had this coming.
Now we're gonna do it.
Starcross Comics presents Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. Trash Day, Part 5. As you can tell by the super exciting music that I have chosen, there's something you should be paying attention to, and that something is I finished another comic. You might have heard of it. It's 23andMe meets Greek mythology meets ancient conspiracy theories meets Taken meets rad superheroes meets you clicking back this project. Hybrids number 5 is the exciting conclusion to the first arc of this series. Production is nearly complete, and by mid-April, these files will be going off to the printer. We should expect this thing to ship no later than early May. Not to mention, we have tons of extras like this book here. This is an exclusive mini-comic that's only available through the crowdfunding. You like stickers? Well, we're going to have plenty of those too, just like this holofoil sticker that you see right here. We're offering so many extras like this Hybrids phone grip that you can only get through this campaign. Also, we've got this exclusive pen that's only available through this campaign. We're going to have exclusive covers, holofoil covers, special prints, digital wallpapers. We're even going to have one-of-a-kind art prints available right here, right now. So what are you waiting for? Be good to yourself and get yourself a copy of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods today.
That's pretty good.
I get a little silly when I make videos.
Oh, I love it. No, that's perfect. Just with enough dramatic and just enough little cheese to kind of make it fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. You can't take yourself too serious. I mean, heck, I'm making an indie comic, for crying out loud.
Melissa's play the long game. Yeah. Play the long game. I do
right. Melissa's right. You know, you gotta take it out for more than just the immediate time.
Are you so you're funded, totally funded.
Yeah.
And that's coming out. Are you worried that have you found a printer that's essential?
A printer?
Yeah, it's been listed as essential. We have to move that around.
Fortunately, I have backups upon backups, so I should be fine. It will, obviously there's my preferred printer who gives me the price that I really like, and I'm able to continue to offer the book at a low price point while still making money. Then there's the backup printer that can do the job and still give me the price, but he's going to be a little inundated, I believe. And then there's another guy who, does the price, that I can live with, but the quality is still really there. So it's really all about that quality.
A good sign is I'm sure you're going to sell out fine, because I went to the store the other day and I couldn't find a copy of your comic anywhere. The shelf was there.
I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case, but
now, so Scott. Now I did. It's funny you mentioned that. I was in Second and Charles, and I found some. They had a Space Ghost comics.
Awesome.
And I was looking through them, and I went over and grabbed them, and then this guy came next to me coughing. I'm like, oh, fuck that. I'm excuse my language, but and then I walked away because I'm like, I was gonna get him and bring him to you, make you sign him for me, but I was like, man, guy's coughing next to me. I can't be a part of that.
Oh, I understand. You want to bring in, space coronavirus ghost.
Yeah. Then I feel bad.
I was in the supermarket the other day and went to the toilet paper aisle, and I was trying to figure out why all of it was gone. and I was thinking, you know what? I know what happened. Someone grabbed a whole bunch of toilet paper, probably because they have a big family and they buy toilet paper once every 3 or 4 months, right?
Right.
And then somebody else thought, oh, I should probably grab more toilet paper. And I'm like, and I told my daughter, I said, I wish I had Hybrids out on the shelf here. I was like, did you grab your Hybrids copies for the coronavirus?
Yeah.
You better get it. It'll keep you from getting sick.
Well, now you want every protection you can get.
Yeah. So that would be nice.
I'm trying to, hey,
Hey, what about our friend Rob? It looks like he's living in his car now. Is that right, Rob?
No, the reality of the situation. You have to pick up a tablet from a school to get your kid to learn.
Yeah, you do.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just called my
Yeah,
teacher called Jax is out there trusting him with this. So I basically just bought this and its replacement.
Wow.
So, fun fact.
That's it. Always think ahead, Rob. Always think ahead.
Yeah, gotta.
What you saying, Luke?
I just signed away $300.
Oh, there you go, man. I was going to say, fun fact is, before this all happened, I worked from home. My wife's a stay-at-home mom and housekeeper. She manages the home, and then my kids are homeschooled. So we were perfectly prepared for what we're experiencing right now. So, any changes in the Stone House? Not at all.
There's changes in the Grant household. There's changes. Listen, the boy needs to leave occasionally. Okay, the boy needs to leave. He needs to go somewhere. I loan for the day he's 18, so I can kick him out.
Well, you got practice time now.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 9.
Oh, you got him in it, bro.
He's halfway there.
Yeah. I'm halfway there. I'm like, you got to go. He's tall. He's a tall 9.
He's scratching off every day on the calendar as if he's in prison.
He's a tall 9. He's not a
See
a
that
small.
date, son? That's the date you move.
Start making marks above the doorway. Is that it? Heading towards the ceiling?
Yeah, we at a certain point you get tall enough you can fend for yourself. I don't care what anybody says. So
I resent that remark.
Yeah, you're tall. You're tall.
I still can't deal with myself.
Yeah. You're pretty tall, Scott. How tall were you at 15?
At 15, I was about 5'10".
Yes, you got to go. Man, you get taller than me, you got to go. I'm 5'4", so I'm pretty short.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty short, so you got to go at 5. You got to go when you get taller than me. I don't give my kids any time. But Caden is already pretty big, so he's got to go. Wow. But it's been a different world because, I mean, he's you have outdoor kids and indoor kids. He's definitely an indoor kid, but it's just that I'm used to having that small.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't even bother buying all this toilet paper because I'm so incompetent. I can't even wipe myself. So why should I, have any toilet paper around?
Everyone laughed at me for wanting to buy a bidet.
Keep some extra paper handy.
Oh, 20-pound bond, nothing like it.
Yeah, just loosen it up a bit.
I just
good to go.
Wrinkle it up and get it nice and soft.
Yeah. That's all you got to do.
I've had to do that before.
I did back a Kickstarter that after I talked with some of you guys, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have backed that. So I guess it could be really expensive toilet paper, if nothing else.
It's good. Yeah, you guys are good. You can double fold it, and
So when you finally got the product, it proved to be somewhat.
Just anymore, they're printed on such fancy paper. It's probably not worth it.
Yeah.
It's slick.
Get that slick magazine paper.
It's not gonna.
That have to roll it up.
Yeah, I gotta get it off here.
Of course, no one's complaining about that.
He'll come back.
No one's complaining about that John Wayne toilet paper these days. Now,
no.
They'd even take that, right?
So, is that a real thing? I saw some toilet paper that's got Marvel Comics printed on it.
Yeah, I have a roll.
Yeah.
That was a real thing. Wow, I love to have had some of that.
Yeah, I have a roll. And
anytime you want to wipe your butt on a Stan Lee creation, it's there.
I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
It actually tells a story, though.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't use it, because I know if I use it, then somebody, if I put it up, somebody's gonna come tear a sheet, and then I'm gonna miss what happened. How little cliffhangers, and I'd be really upset.
That'll help you with your cliffhangers.
It sounds to me we've got a future hot item on our hands if somebody can think about doing that.
I paid $25 for it. So.
Publishing a comic on a roll like that.
Yeah. It's the double quilted that's really going to be
That's for the annuals. That's for the once a year books.
The prestige format books, yeah.
So $10.
Those are the ones that have the Alex Ross covering on it.
The Charmin bear that looks so real.
Yeah, so real.
You know, I don't know really how to take that. I mean, should you be happy that people love your work so much they're willing to wipe their butt with it, or how does that work? I mean, what's the?
I don't think.
Well, frankly, once they buy it, it's their business. As far as I'm concerned.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think they care how you take it as long as you buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Take
mean,
it however you need to take it. Just give me your $25.
when I was young, my mother used to buy
When you were a young whippersnapper.
like
One of
toilet
those
tissue.
old guy stories.
Toilet tissue, like colored toilet tissue. So there was like pinks and mint greens. And I remember my dad one day bitching about it. He said, one day she's gonna learn when she's gonna buy fucking brown, and then she'll see how hard it gets. You know, because my mother likes to match everything. Like she would send me to school. My socks would match my belt, which would match my shirt.
Oh my God!
And she'd lay my clothes out, and I really like a dweeb. But it was so when she matched the bathroom. Downstairs bathroom was green and white, so the toilet paper was always mint green. Same thing with the upstairs bathroom.
Wow.
And you know,
we are learning so much more about you, Varian.
yeah, I'll tell you something else too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else too. I said on the other show the other night, and people don't believe me, but I've been told. I think it was Tank Ferret told me. He says you should go to the doctor immediately. I only have to go to the bathroom every 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, it's been like that since I was young. Every 2 days.
Oh my God!
I don't go. I thought it was normal.
You don't go every day?
No, people tell me like when I mention
God.
it, they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, I'm like go to the bathroom once every 2 days." I don't.
Oh,
You've either got a problem where your system's so efficient that
He hasn't gotten to the point where he starts telling us that he actually shits in cubes too.
No, that hasn't happened. It's just every 2 days. That's when.
to me, God, I go every day, twice, like a bear.
No.
That's the only time you get any good reading done.
Oh, you bet! I keep a shelf right there by the stool. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
I don't get you guys. I don't understand. Like, how do you live like that?
Oh well, in between, you just you plan your life in between the visits. That's all you have to do.
Well, that's the difference between a monster diet and a high fiber diet.
Ah, okay. I have an energy drink diet.
Slow down on the energy drinks and eat more Raisin Bran. You'll see.
Which one of us is which, Randy? I want clarification.
Who what for what?
Who has the monster diet and who has a high?
Oh, he drinks all the energy drinks.
Oh,
We're all eating normal and high fiber, and you know.
They'll stop you up like a sponge. What do you?
would it kill you to eat an apple?
I mean, I will, but I mean, Tricos is every 2 days, so Varian literally is full of shit.
Oh, oranges and bananas.
Probably truer than you know.
And all of that for that setup right there. That's what that was for, right?
I just don't have to. So back to some literal good stuff.
Let's talk about Luke's book.
Yeah.
Speaking of crap,
Rob, where you at? Give us a GPS reading. We want to follow you.
Looks like Rob's headed home. He's headed home to
Are you headed home, Rob?
to get that computer to Jack's?
Thomas,
That's
thanks
right.
for listening.
Thomas
Thomas says that we're funny.
Thank you, Tom.
Everything's virtual
Thank you,
now,
Thomas.
including sex.
Okay, now we're talking. Now we're getting into a subject matter.
So
You talked about porn stars at conventions not too long ago.
yeah, $10 would get you the physical print
everybody.
version. Oh, what?
I just want to make it clear that Luke is a little nervous when you say shit, fuck, motherfucker, goddamn motherfucker. Don't say
I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm like,
no fucking cursing.
Well,
all right?
well, Rob,
Hey, you fucking bastards.
we're glad that you helped set the tone for the next 5 minutes. That was very nice.
That's why
I can always count on Rob to like.
That's why we book Luke opposite of Hart Fisher. Because we know that we can't.
No more hard fisher. No more hard fisher.
Yeah,
we can't.
So here's the funny thing. So I'm perfectly comfortable around all of that stuff because that's kind of what I grew up in, right? And yeah, I'm a reverend. So that's kind of but a lot of people they actually think my book is.
Oh, who cut him off?
He's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. He's frozen. He's frozen.
Too much Disney Plus.
See?
Sorry, Luke.
Are we still on?
Yeah, there you go.
We are
we
now.
hear you.
Yeah.
Luke, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Your icon's frozen.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, you were
Your
frozen
guys'
there for a little
icon
bit.
was
We
broken.
couldn't
I don't know
hear
if it was my internet or your internet.
you.
You
Your
said
internet.
the last thing we heard was people think that your book is, and it cut.
Yeah, and that's I paused because I saw the people that read it. They're like, some people are like, oh, well, there's at least some Christian worldview in there, and so maybe it's
He keeps freezing.
There he goes again.
It's the church. They're cutting them off.
It's I was gonna say, I think God doesn't want him to talk anymore.
We all need to freeze in one place just to throw him off.
yeah. Well, I keep seeing all the icons going. I'm about to switch over here real fast. I don't know if it's my internet or theirs or something
could be
else,
the
but
program.
I get rid of that tin can and string setup you got there, Luke.
Yeah, there you go. That might help.
well, yeah. Well, it's an antenna with some aluminum foil.
Rabbit
That's my
ears.
internet signal, guys.
Rabbit ears, that's what you got to do.
Mel says the
Yeah.
power of Christ compels you.
I need a young priest and an old priest.
Well,
That's funny. So yeah, but I was saying, a lot of people look at the people that know what I do. They read the book. They're like, oh well, Pastor, this is not Christian. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Well,
and you can get that book. The physical is $10. $10. That's all you're asking. Plus shipping, obviously, but $10. That's not bad.
not bad. Do you have any? Stretch goals for that Kickstarter?
I think he's frozen again. But we're gonna go through it because he does have stretch goals. I think the stretch goals he's already met them all though. He did the sticker, the Hollow sticker.
Oh, that's right. He said that. But are those stretch goals or just things you
Can you
get?
hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you now. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good.
Look at that handsome picture of Luke. Look at him.
I can't hear everybody else.
Okay, you can't hear us? Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Is he
I
there?
am, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Luke?
Can you hear me?
Luke, I am your
Luke.
father.
Hello.
I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard that.
Yeah.
No, probably
Luke,
not.
Can you hear us?
Randy, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
We can hear you
Yep,
good.
you're fine.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Can
too.
you hear everybody else?
Yeah, I can hear everybody else.
I can't hear anybody else but you.
Yeah. Randy, you'll be.
Well, I probably have the most powerful computer though. So
Playing favorites again, eh?
very.
Everybody hears
He's just got cheap shit. So
Yeah. I built my computer.
but Scott should be all right.
Yeah, I'm fine. I can hear everybody.
Should I
I
hop
can hear
out
you.
and hop back in?
Yeah,
You wanna try-
that'd
try that,
probably
yeah,
be safer.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Reboot it.
Now let's not let him back in.
Yeah, quick.
We don't know what the problem was.
But look,
Shut the digital
Kept
door.
coming on and coming on and coming on and coming on.
look at
It's
that
all
picture of
Rob's
Luke.
fault. He's hiding behind the scenes, pulling the
Yeah,
pulling
he's
the
pulling
strings,
strings again.
And I screw with Luke.
Just
This will be
remember-
fun.
Hey,
Damn his
hey, if
manipulative.
you're gonna blame me for everything, then it's always
Why
my
not?
fault
Everybody
when you
else does, buddy.
It's always my fault when you guys orgasm. So you're
Always
welcome.
your fault. And you own all the net too.
There we go.
Well, if you wouldn't wear the target, we wouldn't shoot it.
Luke,
I'm back.
Is that
You're
a
back.
phone picture? Is that that picture of you? Is that a phone? They're taking off a phone, or was that professionally shot?
My wife took that while I was looking out the window at Starbucks. I was waiting for my coffee.
Did you crop off the jail
Grande-
number?
Grande or latte?
No.
Grande or latte?
No, I was waiting for my and I was looking at somebody outside. I live in Jacksonville, so there's always something weird going on outside some window somewhere, right? And I was looking at something weird going on, and Beth, my wife, took that picture and she goes, "You look really good in this picture." And I was like, "That's my new profile picture. That's my what the heck are they doing out there? Look, that's
Why do they talk?
Well,
about
as far as
dark
you
blonde
looking good,
rose?
Luke.
That's a nice looking picture. He looks like he
Yeah,
writes
no, that's good.
novels, you know.
Well, normally they have those measurement notches behind you, and you got a whole little blackboard with numbers on it. You must have. I don't know how you. That must be a really fancy jail system you got over there.
yeah." Mhm.
Now, stretch goals. Was the sticker a stretch goal?
No, the sticker's not a stretch goal. That's just one of the perks, but we're going to have some other stretch goals that come along with it. Right now, the stretch goal that we've got is if we hit $500, then everyone's going to get a copy of the PDF version of that Serafina #0 book.
Okay, right.
And Seraphina is kind of a big deal. She's a character that we run into at near the end of issue 5. And so she's going to play a larger part in the next arc. And so I wanted to give kind of a cool kind of mini story so we kind of get a better understanding of who she is
Now,
going into the next arc.
did you do all the writing and drawing on this?
I did, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Oh, thank you.
Now, one, I love that little foil postcard or whatever you're showing there. Where did you have that done?
I actually got that done from I think it was Sticker Mule or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Sticker Mule, though. Yeah.
Excellent.
I like that card. We were geeking out about it because it's a nice hollow foil card. Look at it. It's so shiny.
Yeah, and I had somebody else do holofoil cards for me, and then there's a special perk where issue 1 is on a metallic cover, but it's like this special lava paper. So, dude, it pops. It is awesome. I put it in one of my updates, a video of it, but it's really cool.
Now, since with Varian scrolling your Kickstarter, everything, of course, is like 3-point type, so nobody can read anything.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question: is the money it's $10 an issue? Is that just for one issue? Is that for all 5 or 6 issues or what?
What we're doing there is so I have a few different perks. The first one is I actually have kind of testing the waters where I will send out the first issue for $2. Basically, it's $2 for a physical issue for the first one. And I've obviously got like a $1 kind of perk there. For the number 10, for the $10 one, it's the physical fifth issue. Man, I can't talk today. Yeah, that's great for your radio listeners, right? Hello, guys. Words are hard.
No, it's not just today.
Words are hard. I don't know. Okay. For the $10 pledge, it's the physical 5th issue. You get some chibi stickers. You get digital wallpaper, and you also get a digital 5th issue. So it's more than just it's kind of a package. It's not just the book. Then for the $15, that's for a special variant that we've got. This guy named Adrian Fernandez has done 4 covers for me. So all the covers are covers that I've drawn except for his. He's the only variant that I'm doing. And I really liked his work. And so he's working on a 5th cover for me. And so I'll have the whole Adrian Fernandez pack, so to speak. And but you can get that issue.
Gotcha. For how much does it cost if I pledge? What's the level where I can get my comics blessed by you before you send them to?
Oh, everything is pre-blessed.
Oh, is it really?
Oh yeah. Well,
I see little tiny water droplet stains on the cover.
It's a small service you provide.
It's a small service.
Yeah. One of the things I'm really happy with right now is I had a lot of people say, man, I really want to be able to support what you're doing, but times are kind of uncertain. So I decided to put together a Hard Times value pack where you can get the physical 5 issues for just $25 and $4 shipping to the US. So makes it super easy for people to get involved, and people really like that one. And then I had some of them asking, hey, I also want the Seraphina book, and there's only 50 of those getting printed. So how do I get a hold of that? And so I opened up another one that's the Hard Times value pack plus the Seraphina book, and that's $35. Plus $4 or $5 shipping. So
I think you ought to offer little sketch communion wafers. Trying to
we'll find all the next time I'm looking for some kind of a trope that I could throw in there.
That'd be awesome. Randy, remember the Pogs trend we had?
Yeah, communion wafer
do that with
Pogs. That would be.
wafers.
I thought about making Pogs. One of the guys on Starcross does Pogs with his characters. Now I do have trading cards, so I'll be adding. Everyone's going to add trading card, if not multiple trading cards with their packages, just as a thank you. It's something that I've been doing, but.
But if you offered communion waivers, though, they would be collectible, edible, and life-saving.
Right. 3 blessings in one.
Three
The
in
Holy
one.
Trinity of collectibles.
You know, now you're gonna just for grins and giggles this afternoon. I'm gonna be looking for customizable communion wafers. See if I can get the hybrids logo stamped in them.
You can get those things
Remember-
hologram foil printed. That'd be awesome.
Indie Volt is your idea
Imagine
factory.
trying to eat
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The Indie Board Idea Factory. Yeah. You market it. So we're gonna have Luke. We're gonna have Luke's hybrids. Rise of Gods.
And
Sons
probably
of
getting
God.
those individually wrapped in 2-packs probably wouldn't
Yeah.
be very expensive either.
Yeah.
Communion wafers.
Communion wafers. Collectible communion wafers.
Make sure you send my copy in a fireproof sleeve because I'm gonna be reading it down in hell.
First minute you open those up.
Hey, it's cool, man. I think printing on fire resistant paper will do just fine for you. So I'll make sure to get some specials done for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and make sure you send a gallon of water with it. Oh my god.
Now, Luke, your
Oh.
campaign closes in 25. Is it 25 days or so? I think
Yeah.
25 days. So you still got a little while to go.
I do.
Are you gonna do the 7-day extension if it's still offered, or no word on that?
I did do the extension
Okay.
already.
And that's Hybrids, the Sons of Gods.
HYBRIDS, the Sons of Gods, on Kickstarter.
Yes.
On Kickstarter.
Awesome.
Do
We
not go.
encourage all of our listeners to support Luke in this. You know, spend a little, shoot him a donation and get a really cool comic. I think that'd be awesome.
Run
Luke,
over
can
there
I
and take a look at his campaign and
Luke, can I
buy
get
in
that
if you
to our
can.
readers, our listeners, or
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
I want to offer to all the listeners a free digital copy of the first issue.
so
Because I believe that once you read it, you're going to want to read the rest. And here's the thing.
Oh.
So I wrote and drew the first issue under another company a few years back. And since then, my art and writing has all improved. But I believe so much in the first issue that I think that people will want to read number 2, 3, 4, and then ultimately 5 coming out here in just a month.
I put the link. I put the link to those in the chat. So
Awesome.
if you guys want to, you can hop over there. It's a Dropbox file. Luke has opened it up to everybody. You can check out the first issue of Hybrids. That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Giving it away.
Yeah, and if you like it, just stop by and donate $1. Just
Well, I tell you, let's watch it for a second and see if those numbers change. No, sorry.
no.
And we had to get one of those huge, super huge followings. People watch us live on IndieVolt to watch that happen. But I will say this: I think that you're probably gonna get something because a lot of our readers, a lot of people have been asking and mailing us about free digital comics and wondering. I did get an email from 2 people asking if me and Randy be putting any of our stuff up for free in this hard time. And that means I would, but the scanner I would scan some of my stuff with is stuck in China. So,
Yeah.
And it'd be a moot point anyway, Aaron, because frankly, you can't give your stuff away even for free. We know
even
that.
for free. I can't give it away. I was actually gonna scan a lot of Scott stuff. Actually, to be honest with you, I see no need for him to make.
Yeah, good luck getting rid of that.
Yeah. Well, and another thing is, I want to tell everybody this too. In all seriousness, when you do, with the coronavirus out here, we have to be very careful. When conventions do start back, I definitely want everybody to be very careful. He may need the money, but stay away from Scott. He is the elderly. If he gets this shit, it's gonna be it.
It's my death knell.
I think at conventions now, I've obviously been to a few of them, and that con crud stuff is real, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, on a serious note, you're right, Varian. When the shows start up again, everybody, please frickin' take a shower before you go to the show.
Yes,
I don't
please.
want
Yes.
I don't want to smell any of that crap ever again.
the con cred is very real.
It is. Jeremy Dale, who is the brother of a good friend of mine and a wonderful comic book creator, did Skyward. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. Got sick at a con, and it turned into a respiratory infection, and he died at a young age, and it was just it was devastating. Devastating.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
was that? Was that recently?
5-6 years ago.
Oh, no kidding. Seriously. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm very serious when I go. My wife, she goes along to the cons with me, and she's like hand sanitize because I like to. I'm a toucher. I shake hands. I like to talk to people, and she's like, okay, you gotta. She's trying to keep me well.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it can be serious. I mean, hygiene is a very important thing. We love to kid around here, but that's a very serious thing. Even before all this started.
Yeah.
Always wash your hands. And I actually will berate somebody if I see them in the restroom and they leave without washing their hands.
Yeah,
They're like animals.
Hey! What the heck? Don't spread your crud out there. I'm going to touch that door in about a minute. Stop it.
You think about it. Someone does their business and then they don't wash their hands and they touch that doorknob. It's like you just grab their junk. And
oh my God! Yes,
that is uncalled for.
Now wait.
Junk grabbing can be called for sometimes. Wait a minute. It's not bad. Wait a minute. Let's not spread this message of grabbing. Wait. Stop. What if it goes too far? Wait a minute.
No, Varian, we're not going to do that again with you. All right. Enough of that.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. Listen, guys, if you are listening in and you want to get a question up here on Indie Vault, you can do so by emailing us at indievoltlive@indievolt.com. Please include Indie Vault Live in the subject, and please keep those emails to 90 words or less. Otherwise, I can't make a graphic out of them, and that's no good for anybody.
Now, before we go, Varian, I want everybody to see.
No comment question too small on that either.
No. Yeah.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
I want everybody to see. This is what I started with, and during the last half part of the show, I took this and I turned it into this. This is beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's
you could use that.
Often. It's pliable, and it's not like this anymore.
Yeah.
It's now like this.
Is that what you were doing with your hand the entire time? I thought. Oh, I'm sorry.
Here's how I do it. Give me a close up. Give me a close up. I take the paper and give me a close up. Everybody.
You want to go? Okay.
Hang on. We'll get it. Here we go. There we are.
There we go. There we go.
That was my vacation video. Damn it! I told you not to show that.
Sorry.
Take the paper, you roll it up, and you do that, and then you unspread it. You spread it out, and you keep doing that until you come up with this soft little baby right here. This is just so soft. Oh. Oh, I can't believe the abuse I take here. Unbelievable.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Also, I want to remind you that we will be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're listening on Indie Vote Radio, which we appreciate, please do keep listening. The music will start right back after we're finished chattering here. However,
let's be serious. We're stuck in the house. We might be back here in an hour.
Yeah, who knows?
Back up online. You never know.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Friday at the latest.
If I can't find that game of Monopoly, I'm going to be back on air.
We might end up streaming a game of Monopoly between all of us. This keeps up.
You can take Indie Vote with you wherever you go. Introducing Indie Vote Radio, the perfect companion to our official website, indievote.com. Indie Vote Radio plays the best in indie music, entertainment news, and music news, and more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hear music from talent like Park Squares and Alleys and Dimswan. Download the Indie Vote Radio app on Android's Google Play Store, or listen in with the Streamer app on iOS. You can also check out our Indie Vote Radio by visiting our official site, indievote.com, and utilizing the built-in player right there on the front page. At the bottom of the front page. Just scroll down and you'll find it.
Awesome.
And then, finally, because you're stuck in the house anyway, you might as well check out Indie Vote TV. It's the over-the-top streaming service available on Roku and coming very soon to Amazon Fire Stick and more. Stream independent movies, music videos, wrestling, original documentaries, and more on Indie Vote TV. And did I mention that it's free? That's right. Completely free. Yeah, that's right. Free. Find Indie Vote TV by searching the channel store on your Roku device or Roku-enabled television. And that is it for us. Make sure you check out Hybrids, the Sons of Gods.
Sons of Gods.
We also have
the Kickstarter.
Sons of Gods.
And we also, if you check our chat, which you need to come to our YouTube to do, you'll find that we put the links for the free first issue in the chat on Dropbox, courtesy of Luke Stone and Luke Stone Studios.
Yeah, good luck, Luke. Hope we've drawn a few people to you. Probably just
appreciate that. Yeah, trying to it'd be nice to. My goal is to hit 30 backers, and then from there we'll we'll think about the next step. But pretty excited.
Hey, we're not miracle workers around here. That's not
I know, right? You don't think you can bring 4? You don't think you can bring 4 people in?
Man, it's gonna be so hard.
Well,
so hard,
yeah. It depends how much you pay us to do it. Then
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she kept saying. What?
Damn!
All right, you guys have a good day. We will see everybody back here very shortly because we're bored. So, all right.
We're bored.
Okay.
Yeah, you might see us back at any time. Thank Indie Vault radio listeners. What are we going out on? What number?
We're going out on 9,120. No, sorry, just the 32. So, yeah.
And be glad because this program preempted the Nickelback hour, which you will not have to listen to now. We're going to go back to your regular great music.
Hey, there's a silver lining in everywhere.
There's a silver lining in everything.
All right. This has been Indie Vault reminding you.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
We'll see you guys shortly.